What is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to talk about a topic that's been requested actually quite a lot through your comments and through Instagram messages and stuff like that, and that's how to hook up your turntable to your SP. So for the example here I've got the 404sx. To be honest, this will apply to almost all the SPs I think. As long as it's got a phono input on the back, which I believe most of them do, if not all of them do, then this is going to apply to all of them. So no matter what SP you've got, this tutorial should help you out, and it's super straightforward to do. There's just one thing that you really need to be aware of, and this is something that kind of threw me the first time I tried to hook up a turntable to this one. So this is my Newmark PTA1 Scratch, which to be honest I haven't actually used a great deal. I'm a bit of a sucker for just sampling off my computer. It's just laziness really. I haven't got great storage for my vinyl, so that's something that I've been wanting to sort out for ages, a proper area for storing vinyl so that I can start using this properly with my SP and sampling more from vinyl, because it is a nice format to sample from. This is the turntable that I've got here, and the crucial thing to note about this one is that this has got a built-in amp, so you don't need to amplify the signal from this before it gets to the SP404sx. Now you'll be amazed, some of the most expensive turntables in the world still require amplification before they are listened to. So for example, I've got a Technics DJ turntable, which I paid a decent amount of money for that second hand because it's a kind of legendary piece of gear. Plugged it straight into my SP, and straight away I just couldn't get any volume out of it. So I did a bit of troubleshooting online, and yeah, it turns out that you can't run certain turntables straight into a source without some sort of amplification. That was the problem with mine. As soon as I routed it through an amplifier, it worked absolutely perfectly. So do be aware of that. You may need to do some research on the turntable that you own specifically, whether that requires amplification or not. I got this because it doesn't require an amplifier, and it just means there's less clutter on the desk. I know the quality obviously is nowhere near as good as my Technics turntable, because I can just have this as one unit on my desk, it just made a lot more sense to me. So my Technics turntable now is just for playing vinyl downstairs in another room and just purely for listening to vinyl, and this is going to be the unit for sampling from when I eventually get around to sorting this studio out, which is one of those projects that's just taking a very long time to sort out. But I think we've all got those projects going on in our lives at some point or another. So the first thing to do, it's really simple, is find the outputs on your turntable. Now, as you can see here on my PTA1, there's a bit of a cluster of things all on the side of this, and conveniently it's got a phono out. It does also have headphones out as well. You could probably use that if you had the right cable, but I always tend to just stick to the phono. So you can see here I'm just plugging in my phono cable. Nice and simple, red in the red side and the black in the white side. As long as you do the same thing at the other end, it doesn't really matter which way you put them around, but I always put red for right and always put the red in the red one. So there we go, that's hooked up, and now we move on to the back of the SP, and as you can see again it's really easy. So the cable that I'm using is exactly the same at the other end, it's the same at both ends, and I'm going straight into the input on the SP404sx. So that's crucial that you get that right. It's the output of the PTA1 and it's the input on your SP404. Obviously the output is there to send the signal from the unit that you're sampling into to somewhere else, wherever that might be. For me, it's usually into my audio interface so I can record it. So the only other thing to note really is that when you're recording from an external source like this, you do need to have external source pressed, and then you can go ahead and just hit record. As soon as you press external source and you play a vinyl on this turntable, for example, you will start to hear the signal. That doesn't mean it's recording, you can just hear it, and that just makes you aware that there is a signal coming into the unit. If you don't hear anything when you put on external source and you're playing a vinyl, then there's something wrong somewhere, whether it's the cables. Maybe check the volume on your turntable, check the input volume on your SP by pressing record and making sure that right hand dial is all the way up or wherever you want it to be. If you're not getting a strong signal, like I mentioned, it's probably because your turntable needs amplification. So that's it for this one, guys. Really, I don't think there's much more to say about that. It's a really quick one. I just wanted to show you guys how you can sample from a turntable really easily into your SX. And to be honest, just apply this logic to any sort of audio source. So say you've got a cassette player or a radio. Most things that can play audio will have some kind of wired output on them, whether it's an AUX cable, which is an auxiliary cable. Whichever output you've got on that, you will be able to find either a cable or an adapter to be able to get it into the back of your 404sx. So use Amazon and eBay to look around at different types of cables you can get. I guarantee there'll be a way of getting that signal into your box. So I hope this was useful, guys. If you've got any further questions, feel free to ask them below. If you're new around here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, and if this content was useful, if you could hit the thumbs up, that helps me in the algorithms too. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you all for the support recently, and thank you all to my members as well for constantly supporting me each month. I really appreciate that. If you want to find out about membership, there's a link in the description below. And just finally as well, don't forget that the drum packs that I sell on spvids.com are my main source of funding for this channel. So if you do need drums for your lo-fi or hip-hop projects, go over there and check those out. They're really reasonably priced, and they're an instant download as well, so you can start playing with those straight after payment. Take it easy, guys. Keep making beats, and I'll be back with more content very soon. Peace!